Hi again, it's been a couple weeks. I don't know if you missed us, but things are starting to get real.
The worst part about this is I think that Steph has finally realized she's going to be in a 900 square foot space with me for the foreseeable future. So that's kind of gotten real. Also, I figured out that we have 30 times as much stuff as we actually need to live. The owner of the boat right now said it best, and he basically said he could live his life with everything you could pack for a 2-week trip. And I don't think I disagree with that.
I mean, I was in the Army, so I understand minimal accommodations.
Well, I grew up with a Navy dad, so I understand ritual abuse. So I guess we're even.
So I don't know if Jeff was saying that I'm starting to realize that we're going to be living in 900 square feet together, and that's just hitting me because through all these stress of moving and selling and planning, and my type A brain is just starting to short circuit and think about all the different things and driver's licenses and addresses and medications for 1 month, 2 month, a year, and everything we have to update and where we're gonna live and when the boat's out of the water and where we're gonna be traveling, and the fact that we're gonna be in 900 square feet together forever. I developed a case of shingles. Aww. It kind of sucks. If you had chicken pox when you're a kid, you can get shingles as an adult. The virus is dormant in you, and the medication I take weakens my immune system. I'm immunosuppressed, so a little bit of stress.
And as a roofing contractor, you can get shingles at Home Depot, but that's different than what we're dealing with here.
Jeff has tiles. That was his joke.
Well,
tiles.
Moderate. Anyways,
so
this, Steph is going to pan across to the last remaining items that we have. This small area of garage space is the last of our possessions that are not going on the boat. And basically what goes on the boat is tools, clothing, cookware, and wine. And if you're not in that list, you don't get to go on the boat.
That's it. It's pretty minimal. The house went on the market, how many months ago? Couple, 2, 3 months ago? Feels like forever.
The house today has been on the market for about 2.5 months. We got a contract about 2 months in, right at like day 50 something. And now, of course, we're doing all of the due diligence and we're through all of that. So by the time you guys see this video, because we're highly superstitious, we will have already closed on the house.
We don't want to jinx anything. We're just like, we've got 1 week from today, we'll do our pre-closing signing. Is that right?
We will close on the end of the month, and so that's a week tomorrow. And knock on wood, everything goes well.
So we'll show you a little bit of the house. We'll take you back upstairs, show you the garage, everything that's been removed and sold, what we're down to. The buyers of the home are gonna buy the remaining furniture, so that's awesome. That's the easy button. And then we've got just a little bit left upstairs to deal with. So this is getting real, and it's happening.
It's happening, so very, very soon you're gonna see pictures of us on a boat. Although only briefly, because our first action on the boat will be to close on it and that same day haul it out and do a bottom job and some seal replacements and repairs. And then Fort Lauderdale, all the way around Florida back to St. Pete, and that's when the fun video is gonna start.
Our wine cellar is just about empty. Jeff has done a good job of taking everything down to storage so that we can periodically restock what's on the boat. Jeff's having a little break on our staged sofa.
I'm working.
Look at what a beautiful day it is, though. We're gonna miss this, but we're gonna really enjoy seeing this from the boat. But we have loved living here and loved calling this place our home, and we've made it into our beautiful home that we thought we were going to stay in for the next 30 years, and we suddenly decided to cut that short and pull the trigger on living our dream of living on a boat.
We're moving because if you do not allow me to express myself, I will go insane and I will take you with me.
So what are you drinking tonight?
So this is Sam Adams Utopias. This is a barrel-aged beer, 30% alcohol by volume, and it is a blend of quite a number of different Sam Adams seasonal brews, some of which are 30 years old, and then they age it in a variety of barrels, typically charred oak, former whiskey or sherry or cognac barrels. But it's a pretty interesting, no longer carbonated. It's more like a whiskey than it is a beer. And funny story, Total Wine started to carry this after I spoke with the concierge, my concierge at corporate, and I wanted to get a bottle of this, and they didn't know what it was. And now, if you're in concierge service with Total Wine, you can request a bottle of this, and if you're lucky, you might get one. So, cheers. That's all I have to say about that. Cut! The talent needs food.
We have officially packed up this house. It feels like we have been packing for the last 6 months, which I guess we kind of have been. We've done a bunch of garage sales and really buckled down over the last couple weeks here, but there's Jeff taking the last of our bags, and I'll give you a quick run through. This place is empty. We are going to miss this beautiful view. We love this home, but we are excited for the next adventures and excited for views like this, but just from the vantage point of being on a boat.
Glasses.
It's too bright.
Good things nobody's recording yet.
We are recording.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. Welcome back to Offshore Gishing. It is a beautiful sunny Friday in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and as the admittedly clickbaity title of this episode suggests, we are homeless. We closed on the sale of our home yesterday. I had to think about that for a minute. It's been a little bit chaotic and hectic for the last, year, but that's one milestone achieved. The buyers of our house got a smoking deal, and we're not going to ever think about that again. We're going to ball it up real tight and push it down and never talk about it again, and acknowledge that it's getting us to the next goal, which is closing on the boat Monday in Fort Lauderdale. We have already wired the funds and the contract looks good, and the current owner is moving things off the boat, so it looks like green light all the way around. And so we're here in Cape Canaveral. My parents are here from Grenada for a month or so, and so we're spending some time with them. And we're going to watch a Starlink payload rocket take off here in about an hour. And then later we're going to go to a really nice French restaurant and open a 1962 Latour and about a near 30-year-old Chardonnay and have a really nice meal. And so that's my update for the week or month. Most importantly, there were lies told about me in the last video. It was represented that I was going to have a nice big fat juicy ribeye when Steph had to fast, and that's not true. I didn't eat it that night in front of her. I ate it the next night in front of her. So that's a very big distinction.
So there. It doesn't quite feel real yet. Technically we're homeless because we haven't bought the boat yet. The house is sold. That was all finalized yesterday, but because we've been packing and doing so much stuff for the last 6 months and just all of the updates to the house and knowing that we were going to move onto the boat, we'd started the garage sales. I think we had our first garage sale when we came back from Thanksgiving in Vegas. And we came back from Vegas, we had our first garage sale, then we did another garage sale, I think in December again, and another garage sale. So I think we had 4 garage sales total, just knowing that the goal was to be on a boat. And so packing up the house and doing all of that over the last 6 months, and then it was stressful waiting, and we've been really quiet. No social media posts, no videos, because we didn't want to jinx anything when we had
Somebody, I'm not going to name names, but somebody thought we were going to jinx the deal if we posted anything at all.
Well, when we got the offer, I just was holding my breath that everything would go smooth. And so we were just radio silence for a little while. And then the last couple weeks, the option period was done. And so then it was, oh crap, let's get the rest of our stuff out. And then that became super stressful for the last couple weeks. But now it's kind of sinking in. It still feels a little bit surreal. I don't think my brain has had time to really process the fact that the home that we loved, that we thought was going to be the forever home on the water, updated it so that it was beautiful finishes and just where we wanted it, and then it was just so fast that I don't think it's really quite sunk in yet for me that we're not coming back and that we're going to be on a boat. So I'm sure it'll feel pretty real pretty soon here.
It's going to feel pretty real when you see other people living in that house. Yeah, there's not really no coming back, because honestly what we're going to do is we go down to close on the boat Monday, and then it's going to spend about 3 weeks in the yard getting new bottom job. The props are going to be trued and reconditioned, prop shaft seals, stabilizer seals, a little bit of touch-up paint, a couple other mechanical items. There are a couple of seacocks that are seized open right now, which is probably not a great thing on a boat where you want to keep the water on the outside. And so we're going to get all that work done, and while we're doing that, we're going to go and visit my parents in Oregon, which might be confusing. I just have a lot of parents, 4 total, and I collectively just consider them all my parents. And so we're going to go up to Oregon and visit them for about a week. We're going to go back to Arizona and visit Steph's mom, and then we're going to end up back in Florida, where I want to try to get down to Fort Lauderdale for at least the last 3 or 4 days of yard work, just so I can do a punch out, make sure everything goes smoothly. Then we're going to splash around, I think, Memorial Day weekend, provision for a day, and then the current owner of the boat, soon to be previous owner of the boat, has offered to stay on board with us for the entire trip around the Keys and up the Gulf Coast back to St. Pete, which is amazing. You can't put a price on the level of detail and information and familiarity with the boat that we're going to get that you almost never get. Typically, it's a little bit of a learning curve of not really knowing how everything's going to work and not knowing the little idiosyncrasies that a 20-plus-year-old boat is going to have. And we're going to have the guy on it who has been on it for the last I think, 3 years doing exactly what we want to do, running it every single day. And so that's super valuable. The other really beneficial thing is that Steph is going to have an opportunity to learn a lot about the boat from somebody that's not her husband. And I don't know if anybody's ever been married before, but it turns out if somebody other than your spouse tells you something, it hits a little differently. So we're really thankful that he's going to be along on the trip with us, and you might see him, if he's willing to be some on-air talent, you may see him in our next couple of videos. And so super excited. When we moved out, the wine is probably a good example. In Texas, we had over 3,000 bottles. We sold off a lot. I think we came to Florida with 1,800, and we just sold another big lot at auction. So now we're down to just over 400, and it's still a ridiculous amount of wine. I don't know that we'll ever drink it in our lifetime. The boat will hold around 40 bottles. And so we did the same thing with everything in the house. We started packing, and there were things that were in boxes that we hadn't opened since we moved to Florida in 2022. And so it's a very stark and obvious indicator that I think we just have way more than we need to live. And so we've now half filled a 10 by 10 storage unit with tubs and boxes. I expect when we get the boat back to St. Pete in hopefully early June, as we're loading the boat, I won't be surprised if half that stuff goes away. And so my goal is to live a very minimalist lifestyle while recognizing that it's still a very privileged and extravagant lifestyle.
Yeah,
but
not to the point of a Buddhist monk or anything.
No, well, a Buddhist monk with a yacht, basically, who likes the Caribbean. So
With a few vices.
with a number of vices that just make you seem more human and approachable. Once we get back to St. Pete, we're going to spend a couple months here provisioning, making some modifications to the boat, and we'll give you a full boat tour so you can see kind of how it is now, because we have a lot of ideas of some upgrades to make. But we'll spend a few months doing that, and then we will say goodbye to St. Pete for a while, slowly make our way south, back around to Fort Lauderdale, and time it to where we can head over to the Caribbean for Christmas and spend the winter there, come back after probably early spring and start making our way north. And my goal is to get up to New York Harbor. I don't know if we'll make it or not. We're not going to be in any hurry at all, but essentially our float plan is we have no float plan. So we hope to see you following us on those adventures. I'm sure there's going to be some mistakes we make and some fun things we do, and so hope to see you there. And like, subscribe as always, but most importantly, comment, because there are a number of channels that do this. We want to put our own spin on it, and so if there's something that you'd like to see that other channels haven't done or that you're interested in, let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to include that in one of our future videos.
So I guess that's all for now. We'll see how the adventure unfolds over the next few months. My big concern is how I'm gonna figure out all my future doctor appointments. I've got blood work coming up. I've got the nephrologist. I've got some MRIs, some mammograms. Be sure to get those, ladies. So we'll see how that all works out with the VA system.
Yeah, I'm not so concerned about that as a male. I'll go see the doctor when something falls off, but it'll be interesting. But we keep telling ourselves a lot of other people do this, and so it's not that we have to find a way to do something. We just have to find the way that's already been established to do something. So that'll be fun.
So thanks for joining us. We're gonna show you the rocket launch here in a little bit, and then I think we're going to the Space Center tomorrow. So we'll see if we're allowed to record anything when we go there.
That'll be super exciting. Steph told me I was acting like a 7-year-old talking about it, and I'm okay with that.
What do they have at the Space Center?
They
What
got
are
a
you
bunch
gonna
of stuff.
see?
There's a shuttle there, and then we're going to watch the rocket launch today, and the boosters are going to come back down, and there's going to be a sonic boom, and then we're going to get to go and see the actual space shuttle,
Yeah.
and then the Apollo Center. So it was apparently a lot like that. I don't quite believe it, but also it sounds like something I'd do. So.
Yep. And we'll definitely take you down when we go sign the paperwork for the boat and officially become boat owners again.
Absolutely. So sorry we were away for a while, but I have a superstitious wife, and we weren't allowed to post anything. But I promise that'll get better from now on.
You'll see more of us from now on. Okay, so that was the booster that just launched, the SpaceX booster. So we saw that on the roof. That was pretty cool. My first time seeing a rocket launch. I don't know if Jeff has seen one before. What'd you think about it?
I've not seen them from that close. I've seen a couple farther away, but the rumble of the expanding gases was pretty impressive. And we're probably 10 plus miles away, and so we got to see, as that sound traveled much slower than the light, obviously we see the rocket go up and then we see the sound, and pretty impressive. I wish this had been one of them that had the boosters that came back to Kennedy where we could hear the sonic boom from re-entry, but I'll be happy with the rocket going up and
No
that
sonic
technology.
boom. I'm happy with it too. It's pretty cool.
Well, after the launch we have to have lunch, because it's really just one letter different, and I'm hungry.
Lunch. Lunch.
This is
Lunch
a
lunch or lunch.
It's a lunch.
It's a lunch. Off we go.
Uh-oh.
Punchline in there when it comes out and you go,
So,
awesome.
we should we've got the entire course, which